Bengals fans, we got some breaking news on today's edition of Bengals Breakdown. We actually just signed off our live show here on the channel, and not too long after that, Pete Thamel and Tom Pelissero, Adam Schefter, several people reporting that Lou Anarumo is officially being replaced by Al Golden as the Bengals' new defensive coordinator. A lot of speculation has been around Golden as the guy to take this job for Zac Taylor and the Cincinnati Bengals. And today, as of just a little bit before 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, it is officially official. Al Golden will be the next defensive coordinator of the Cincinnati Bengals. I am really hyped up about it. Going to be giving my instant reaction here on today's video. Before we get into that, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. When Bengals breaking news hits, we've got you covered here at the channel. Obviously, a coaching hire, a coordinator hire is very, very significant. That's why we got a video coming your guys' way right now. So don't miss out on any future videos. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/BengalsTV. Not exactly sure if it was Pelissero or Thamel who reported it first, but this is what Pelissero said. Bengals are finalizing a deal with Notre Dame defensive coordinator Al Golden, who's expected to be in Cincinnati on Thursday to officially sign on as DC. Sources tell the insiders Golden spent 2 years, of course, as the Bengals linebackers coach before joining the Irish. Now we have a reunion. This is what Thamel put out, actually technically a minute prior to Pelissero. Sources: Notre Dame defensive coordinator Al Golden is expected to become the Cincinnati Bengals' next defensive coordinator. He's informed Notre Dame officials of his decision. I am really, really excited about this. Again, Golden, of course, was the the linebackers coach for Cincinnati in 2020 and 2021. What happened in that 2-year stint? Oh, yeah, that's right. They went to the Super Bowl, and their linebackers were really a major reason as to why they were able to do just that. I think there's several reasons as to why Zac Taylor is opting to bring in Al Golden. Of course, the reason number one being he doesn't want a complete revamp, right? This is a team that hasn't been that far off. This is a team just a couple of years ago we're going to back-to-back AFC championship games. He doesn't want a guy to come in here and just completely blow everything up. A lot of these guys on this roster are familiar with Al Golden. A lot of people in this building are familiar with Al Golden. And Al Golden, of course, really has cut his teeth at the collegiate level. Has spent most of his coaching career at the collegiate level. And the Bengals are always going to have to develop on the defensive side of the ball because they're always going to spend money on offense as long as Joe Burrow is the quarterback, of course, Jamar Chase, perhaps T. Higgins coming down the pipeline as well. And they're always going to have to draft and develop on defense. Golden has an incredible history of developing young talent. We'll continue in a moment. First, pinned comment of today's video. Grade the Al Golden hire, A, B, C, D, or F in the comments section. If that ad comes here on YouTube, it's totally fine. Take advantage of it. Get down there. Let me know what you think. This is totally an A for me. Going into this, when it was announced that Anarumo was being fired, I had two guys that were at the top of my list. Aubrey Pleasant was basically 1A, and Al Golden basically was 1B. They're going with Golden. I am really ecstatic about this. I think this Bengals defense is really going to be able to take a massive step in the right direction with Al Golden at the helm. But let me know. Get in the comment section and grade the hire of Al Golden. Of course, his most recent stop was with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and they really were a top 2 defense in the country. Really was impressed with some of the stuff that Notre Dame was able to do. And despite the fact that they lost the national title game to Ohio State, and despite the fact that they gave up a decent amount of points in the process, I actually was really pleased with what I saw from Golden and his unit. Obviously, they really like to play man-to-man, which they did quite a bit of, but they also switched it up a little bit. You saw him go to some zone. You saw him bring some pressure. You saw him sag back. That's what I like. He was adapting on the fly, trying new stuff when stuff wasn't working. I really liked that, and I really liked how hard his team was playing for him in that football game. Those guys never quit on the defensive side of the ball for Notre Dame, despite the fact they were completely outmatched from a talent perspective by the Ohio State Buckeyes in that football game, and I thought they really battled to the end. They even got some stops late in the game to give their offense a chance to get back into that football game. As far as the rest of the season goes, Notre Dame was just tremendous on the defensive side of the football, so hopefully he's really going to be able to develop some of that young talent that the Cincinnati Bengals have on their team. It's not just linebackers that he'll have to work with. It's that whole defense, which we will get into that here in a second. But first, of course, we got to give a shout out to our friends over at Game Time because today's show is presented by Game Time. Game Time is a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of different tickets. Really excited about spring training right around the corner. Hopefully they do a little bit better, those Cincinnati Reds, of course, than the Cincinnati Bengals did in 2024. The Reds, of course, going ready for their 2025 season. Really excited about that. Get your tickets to spring training, courtesy of our friends over at Game Time. Really love the seat views. Get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy with Game Time. Also, the event cancellation protection. If you're going to a concert or something like that and the artist happens to cancel on you, that's totally fine. Game Time is not going to hose you. They're going to make sure you get a full refund. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. But again, create an account, redeem code CHAT. SPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, the lowest prices guaranteed. These are the stops that I was alluding to that Golden has made throughout his coaching career. Look at all that time he spent in college. Of course, was the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes for several years, and that stint wasn't really the best, right? If we're just going to be completely honest with you. Really, the thing that rubbed me wrong about it the most was the fact that he was wearing a tie over there on the sideline. But what you doing with that, Al Golden? But then after that, he really has done a tremendous job ever since leaving the U. As a tight end coach and a linebackers coach with the Detroit Lions, he was awesome. Then Zac Taylor was able to bring him in there as the linebackers coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. And then, of course, most recently with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. His specialty, of course, is linebackers, but he's going to be responsible for the entirety of the Bengals defense. I am really interested to see what happens with Jermaine Pratt, because we did our cut candidates video, and I had Jermaine Pratt at the very top, not the very top, but one of the top guys on that list. But Pratt played his best football under Al Golden, so that makes me think that Pratt might be sticking around. They might be running it back with these two linebackers without Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt at that linebacker spot. Logan Wilson's 100% going to be back. I think they probably would have moved off Jermaine Pratt if anybody else was brought in to be the defensive coordinator for this football team. But I think Jermaine Pratt, if he wants to stay here in Cincinnati, he's got to be excited about this news that Golden is coming back. From a pass rush perspective, he's got to be able to develop there as well. A lot of uncertainty surrounding Sam Hubbard. He's certainly not going to come back with the current contract he has. It'll have to be a severe pay cut that he takes if he wants to stay with the team. Hopefully he can get some more out of Myles Murphy. Myles Murphy has been a bust to this point. Maybe he can pull some strings with him and help develop there. The interior of your defensive line, I'd be surprised if B.J. Hill was back. You got two youngsters there on your interior with Chris Jenkins Jr., McKinley Jackson. They need to be developed as well. So that's kind of the key for me, is development. And that's something that Al Golden has really done a tremendous job of throughout his time as a coach. And that's what Zac Taylor is going to need. Zac Taylor was confident that he wanted Al Golden to be his guy as the defensive coordinator. Keep in mind, it's only reported that he interviewed two other guys, Patrick Graham and DeMarcus Covington of the New England Patriots were the only two guys. So he had his sights set on Al Golden. Golden, by the way, still had property here in Cincinnati while he was coaching with Notre Dame, which I didn't even realize. That in itself should be a telltale sign that he inevitably would return to Cincinnati. But I'm really excited about this. Zac Taylor's confident that he's the right guy. Hopefully, it ends up being the right decision, because Zac Taylor needs it to be if he wants to stay the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. What is your one-word reaction to the Al Golden hire? For me personally, it's bang. We got him. We got our guy. Now let's get to work. But let me know what your one-word reaction is in the comments of today's video.